and welcome to another edition of Artist Alley, where we get to have a conversation with the authors and artists of many of your favorite books. I'm Simon.
And I'm Ella. Recently I had the opportunity to read and view The Not-So-Secret Society, which you can view here on our website. Since then, I had an opportunity to ask Team NS3 some questions, and here is what they had to say.
Hi everyone, I'm Trevor.
I'm Ellen.
I'm Arlene.
And I'm Matt, and we are the creators of
The Not-So-Secret Society. Well, hi everybody. We're super excited to do this. We have an interview from one of our favorite 7-year-old pop culture comic reporters from Constant Collectible. Her name is Ella, and she sent us a list of really cool questions about the book. So are you guys up for it?
I'm ready.
Totally
Hi,
ready.
Ella.
Ready. 100%
Hi, Ella.
ready. Hi, Ella. And hello, everyone. Oh, Constant Collectible.
That's right. And hi, Simon from Constant Collectible. So one of the first questions that Ella had is really for you, Matt and Arlene. How long did it take you guys to write the book?
It's a very good question.
That's a great question.
A day.
Yes.
Can I guess one day?
No, a little bit longer than a day, Ella. Just a little bit longer. Not much.
So essentially, when we started the process of writing the book, we went through almost 2 iterations of completely different stories before we found the Tale of the Gummy story.
Yes.
And so that entire process was about, I would say, like 8 months between developing them and then finding the right story and then actually writing it out. When we were ready to sit down and really write the story, though, it didn't take all that long, to be honest. The first draft only took about a week.
Yeah, it went pretty fast once we had what the story was. I think when you're writing a book, you have to kind of think about the characters and you have to think about what the storyline is. So once we had that done, I would probably say, a week to 2 weeks, and then we were done.
Right. And also you guys worked with the editorial team at Boom Comics, right? So that was also part of the process in really shaping and writing the story, too.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we thank you, our editors at Boom.
Thank you.
Now, for everybody, and I'll start with you, Trevor, how do you feel now that the book is on the shelf?
I feel incredibly thrilled because we've all put in so much work into the whole project of the Not-So-Secret Society and building out the world and doing everything. But it's also a little bit sad because there's no more like drawing or coloring or like checking on stories and things like that. But overall, I'm super happy, and hopefully this will lead to lots more.
Yeah. Well, and for me, I know it's super exciting. And I think, we just had an event at a local independent comic book store a week ago, and it was just so amazingly awesome to see parents and their kids with the book and reading it together and doing the activities from the book. And I feel proud, of everything that we put into it.
Yeah.
So what do you think,
I
Arlene?
think the same thing. I feel super excited. I mean, like, your name is on a book, Ella. Like, how amazing is that? That could be you one day. So just seeing your name up there and seeing people coming up and telling, like, I really love your book. This is so awesome. Just makes you feel great. So I think super exciting and really proud. And kind of sad, too, that it's all over.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take it just a little bit further, and it's exciting to see your book on the shelf. It's even more exciting when you see someone reading it.
Right.
Yeah,
Whether that's
true.
pictures or at
that's
events,
good.
because that's what we did it for. It's awesome. I know that's sort of like the common expression, like, oh, it's so nice to have your book on the shelf. It's even nicer when someone's reading it, though.
Yeah, and we love the pictures that people are sending us of reading the
Absolutely.
book and doing the activities. That just makes us
The
so
activities
excited.
are awesome. People are doing a great job.
Yeah.
So, Matt and Arlene, Ella wants to know, how did you develop the characters, and are they based on people you know or yourselves? There's a secret here.
Well, yes, they are, Ella. So our characters are based on our 3 children, Dylan, Ava, and Emma, and then their cousins, Aiden and Madison. So we kind of had a little bit of a baseline to go with for them. Now, their characters and the way that they sound, and the way that they move, and how they talk are all based on them, but they don't look the same. So that's just a little bit different.
And I think the one thing that we did was we sort of exaggerated their personalities and their quirks a little bit, just so that they would, like our kids would recognize themselves. But, it's not quite exactly the same, so they could never get angry at us. Like, well, this is the book version of it.
Well, one of the things that always confuses me, which is actually funny, is that Ava looks like Emma.
The hairstyles are flip-flop.
In real life,
Spoiler.
which is kind of
Sorry.
super fun.
Just to get them really confused.
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly. But it's a lot of fun with it, and the kids have a lot of fun with it too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Trevor, kind of going back to the sadness of being over, do you have plans for another volume?
Now we're done.
No.
It's finished. Wait a minute. No, that's not true. We actually have lots of plans and groundwork laid for other volumes that involve, I don't know, time travel, disappearing cities,
Ooh.
a little something called becoming wrestling people to
Oh.
wrestle, maybe, perhaps. So, yeah, there's actually a lot of plans that we have. Like Matt said, in building and finding the Tale of the Gummy story, which had so many other
Cool
ideas that had all bubbled to the top, and some that we've really flushed out. So we are ready to go and start the process on Volume 2.
Well, so now that you've answered that, Trevor,
Yes.
Matt and Arlene,
Yes.
Ella wants to know, if Volume 2 gets made, will we get to see more of those 5 Zs?
Love those 5
The 5
Zs.
Zs.
They're
Ooh, the
amazing.
5 Zs!
I have to say, for characters that only appear in the beginning and the end of the book, they've really
They're getting a lot of play.
people.
Yeah. They're
getting a lot of
really,
coverage.
Really love the 5Zs. So, yes, they are the counterparts
Yes.
to our heroes, and of course they have to be in.
They have
every
to be
story.
in. They're amazing. Without the 5 Zs, there'd be no Not So Secret Society. So
That's
they
right.
pretty much balance out each other.
Well, competition makes us all better.
That's right.
Especially in dodgeball.
It's
Oh,
true.
that's true.
And there could be a situation where they would have to team up to work together.
What?
Ooh.
Just put it out there. Yeah.
Well, that's
Mind
important
blown.
because
Yeah.
a lot
Mind
of the book is
blown.
about teamwork.
Yeah,
So
that's
that will be a very interesting thing to see how that comes
And
together.
it's easy to work in a team with your friends. It's not so easy to work in a team with people who you don't
Don't
necessarily
like.
get along with.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But also
Ooh.
important.
Yes.
I can't wait. So Ella also wants to know, do each of us have a favorite character in the book? Now, I will start and say I love everybody, but I think I identify with Madison the most because she's a lead. She wants to be a leader. She has leadership qualities.
It's true.
She loves to investigate and to read, and she's sort of like the rule maker too.
Yeah.
Which definitely suits my personality. So for me, it's Madison.
That's true.
How about you, Trevor?
For me, like a lot of people, it's Ava.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that little Ava. She's just all full of energy and she
Wrestling
calls
moves.
people out and she does whatever she needs to do to get it done. She's awesome. She's the best. I love her.
What about you, Arlene?
I would say that Aiden's my favorite
Ah.
character because you know what? He's kind of like underrated. He's a little bit under the radar, but he's so good at inventing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Mhm.
even if he doesn't get his invention right, he just keeps on trying. And I
He
love
never
his
gives up.
I love
No.
his determination, and that's
Got
really
good
important
spirit.
for me. He's got a good spirit.
Good
and
moxie, that
He's
kid.
got a good heart, so I'd
Yeah.
say that'd be my favorite character.
What about you, Matt?
Oh, definitely Dylan. He's
Oh,
Yeah.
snarky
he's a guy
Dylan.
that loves his facts, and he
Loves his watch.
he loves his watch.
Loves his watch.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
also, loves sliding jokes in,
That's true.
and I do
Yeah.
that.
Facts,
In a nice
jokes.
sly
Dry
way.
humor.
Yes.
Yeah, he's secretly the funniest.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
And Ella wants to know, and I think we all can answer this really well. Do you have a love for education, creator team, and especially science? And I'll start with you, Matt, on this one.
As Trevor said very recently to me, you sort of you kind of love or admire things that you can't do. And so for me in school, it was always art and science. I was never really that great in either. I was really good in everything else. And even as an adult, I consume as much science literature as I can, whether it's science fiction or science nonfiction. And I really stress it with our kids too. And when I was a teacher with the students, trying to incorporate science into English classes I was teaching, because I think it's so important. And it's been a while, I think, since science was considered cool, but now it's coming back, which is really awesome. You always need a goal. Like in the 60s, it was, we're going to get to the moon, and everyone loves science, and more science. And now it's we need goals in science.
The NS3 brings it back.
Yeah, I
That's
think so.
right.
Well, and science applies to so much of our world that we
Yeah.
don't even think, like bringing candy to life,
Yeah.
So what about you, Arlene?
I really love science. It was one of my favorite subjects. It might not have been my best subject, but it was one of my favorite subjects. And I think that it's really important for kids to understand about science, to know about science. I think about the eclipse that happened really recently and how that was huge and everyone was so enamored by it. But guess what? It had to do a lot with science.
Yeah.
So I just think having that foundation is really important. And I'm glad that the kids in the Not So Secret Society really love science.
They do.
Yeah. And for me, I love education. I love to read. I love to study. I love to learn. And science, my love for science started very early. But I particularly remember the really cool experiments I did as a kid
Oh, yeah.
in school. And I remember this class that we had where we had to make an egg, strong, and in order to drop it from the top of the building. And I just right, and it was, and I just remember the fun because it's science, but it had so much creativity involved and what you put into it. And I think until I had done that, I didn't realize that you could be creative and make something, and that's science. So I thought that was pretty cool. What about you, Trevor?
Quantum physics.
Okay.
That's what I'm about, everybody. Ella, I love it. I've always loved it. It's amazing. Things that happen in the subatomic universe don't happen anywhere else. None of the rules apply. It's like a crazy Wild West science. So do I like science? Yes, I like science.
Yes, he does.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, our last question from Ella, guys, and this has been really fun, so thank you, Ella.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Ella wants to know, what do you want your readers to take away from your book? Arlene.
Okay.
Good question.
Well, I think a big part of our book is teamwork. So we have kids that are working together. They're all types of different kids, and they're just working together. And I think that's really important right now, just to have everyone come together. Not necessarily with your best friends, but you know what? Just be a team and work together for a common goal. And I think that's one thing that I think I want everyone to take away, that doesn't matter what your abilities are, but just working together and using your strengths, well, you can make anything happen.
That's a great point. Matt, what about you?
I really want readers to get hooked on reading graphic novels and comic books.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a new medium, it's still growing and expanding and gaining a lot more respect. And even last week, I read a book that had done things I'd never seen before in a comic book. And I think that young readers like Ella and whoever else is watching this video, when they absorb it now, they're going to take it to so many cool places. And I think that's really exciting. And also, I just love that it's getting more respect because it is a great medium, and it's just as much work to put together a great graphic novel as it is any other book.
Sometimes more.
Yeah, absolutely right. Trevor, what about you?
For me, I think I want our readers to take away that they can be confident in their own abilities. That, like Aiden, he doesn't always, achieve what he's planning on inventing, but he keeps trying, and he's confident that one day he's going to succeed. And I think that that's part of this whole teamwork that NS3 has built, and the whole team is that all these kids, they're all from different backgrounds, they have different abilities, they are very different, but they're all confident in who they are. And that's so important to remember, that who you are is absolutely awesome and the most important person to be.
No, that's true. And for me, it's the sense of adventure and the fact that, adventure can be around any corner. It's in your own backyard, and that when you go on a journey to find this adventure, that there's things that you can do to help you, to learn, to read, to talk to your friends, to talk to experts, and to get information that is going to help you achieve your goal. And that's what I think the story does in a way that's super fun. And I think it can translate to, the readers' lives and to the things that they can do, and the sense of adventure and wonder about what's out there.
Adventure is around every corner. Guys.
Exactly.
Right.
You never know. Or, in a subway grate.
Or a slide door.
Or a locker.
When we were developing the story, it was important that their adventure happened in like their living environment. So it's like, this is where they live, this is their apartment building, because you don't always need to go far to have an amazing adventure.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, Ella and Constant Collectible, thank you guys so much for sending us these questions. I know that I had a really good time.
We had an absolute blast. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you from Team NS3.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
The NS3.
Thank you, Team NS3, for taking the time and answering all my questions, and I look forward to the next volume.
If you have any questions for us, please feel free to email us at feedback@constantcollectible.com. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to everything Constant Collectible in order for you to stay up to date with all the news and reviews from a world of geek culture. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.